different mediums. This view right here that you're watching to my right, this view, we're on Facebook. This is our Facebook right here. This is our special
Hi,
guest. Everybody knows who this is.
Natalia.
Natalia Pabon's in the house. This is me with the bad lighting and right and the bad angle, but
Don't forget
who
YouTube.
who better than me to be on this angle? Over here is our YouTube. So, anyone that wants to look at our YouTube, it's JT Elegancia. That's the YouTube we're using. That's our main YouTube. And right over here, we have, our standard camera that's capturing everything. So we're back.
Yes.
This is a conversation. This is what it looks like. Hi, how are you?
Yes.
How's it going? How's everything
Good. Good.
going?
Good.
That's a
Yes.
conversation. That's a new thing we're going to be bringing to you. Um, we have a lot to share. First of all, we're so excited to be back, and we came back better than ever. This camera here, the problem is our extension cord wasn't long enough, and instead of waiting, we figured let's do it and let's just wing it. Next time, this will be at a better angle. You'll get a better view of everything. If you're on YouTube, you will see our setup. Over here, you can't see where we are, but over here, you see our setup. And what you see behind us are like cabinets and everything, because we're actually sitting in our kitchen at the table, because the whole idea of conversations is a seat at the table, conversations, a seat at the table. So the guests have their drink. I have my coffee as always. Sip on my coffee and we start our conversation. So this is our first conversation. We're here with Natalia. Natalia, tell the people about what we're gonna do finally after I say we've been away for 9 months, but in reality, we've been away for 5 months. This camera angle is horrible, and I'm sorry we can't move it because we have nowhere else to go. But we'll keep it on Natalia. I'll try to stay out of the picture on this one. All right,
Yes.
Natalia.
Well, thank you, Jay, for inviting me here today. I also want to thank Ariana Center for giving me the opportunity to be here with Jay and to have a nice conversation about our new platform and our changes, and having this conversation about the new structure is our new theme, and our new plan to get around our work
hmm
to make it happen as strict.
Stripped. So structure, stripped. Two key um, words that we're bringing in. Um, this obviously came from. Oh, you see, if we move this so much, like we'll just knock it completely over. That's how bad it is, and we apologize, but that's the way it is right now. So the idea behind stripping is, and you really should go on YouTube because you see it like dead on, like really good on YouTube. And again, just search JT Elegancia and you'll see it. That's Elegancia. The spelling, the Spanish spelling of elegance. So, the idea with stripping, obviously, it came from Christina Aguilera in the 2000s. She had this album called Stripped. Christina Aguilera, let me take these off. Christina Aguilera is back, and you could see that she is revisiting this concept of stripping. If you look at her, she's giving different messages. It's more of revealing yourself as opposed to being something you're not. And a lot of us struggle with this idea of, being things we aren't for many different reasons, to appease people, for people to like us, and just to make people more comfortable. But in that process, something happens to us. We change. We don't
We
get to
tend to hide.
we tend to hide and we don't get to grow and become fearful and a lot of things just fall because we're not being our true selves.
We don't tend to love ourselves. We tend to love our fake self that we tend to build for society and for the media.
Hmm. And then, Nat brought something good to our attention. Structure. Structure is just a small word, but it says a
A big
lot. It
impact.
has a huge impact. And, just moving quickly along because we don't want to bore people with this. Um, so, a couple of things that are upcoming and a couple of things that we're going to be doing. We're going to be going back to our roots, back to where we started, and giving you all, say it with me, capital V, vintage.
Vintage. Vintage.
We're going to be going back to vintage. Vintage has some of the most interesting people you will ever meet. They are so creative. They just have their own unique sense of self. Their appearance relies on no one else's consent, which is what I love the most. It's a very individualistic approach to fashion and dressing and
Yes.
presentation, because that's a big word of mine, presentation. Um, I don't know. Conversation was about a lot of different things. It's also about doing something new, revealing things that are new, new parts of yourself that have not yet been revealed, and you know, with the media, we all seem to tend to present these images where everything is perfect and everyone's happy, and you never see someone have a bad day on
Right.
media. On media, everyone always has this like fantastic, wonderful life. And then when they close that curtain, they go to a miserable life and they don't even present that to the world. You know what I mean? Um, so I don't know. I guess my point with that is that we want to show that not everything is perfect in this world, and that is
It's,
okay,
and it's beautiful.
and it's beautiful and it's perfect and it's fine. You don't always have to cover up your flaws and the things that make you different again to appease people and stuff like that.
That's right.
Um, Again, we apologize for our setting. Had our setting been a little better, we would have been able to do a lot more. Like I'm actually, talking about speaking the truth. I'm actually holding this one with my hands so that it doesn't tip over this view right here. So that it doesn't tip over the view user watching us on the Facebook. Again, the YouTube is like right perfect where it's supposed to be, and my camera is right here, right perfect where it's supposed to be. So I wanted to talk about a couple of issues that were like, to me, affecting me, and are probably new to you, and maybe probably new to some of our audience and stuff.
Right.
So I'm just gonna throw a word at you, and I want you to word associate with it, but you can elaborate on it. All right. So the word and the quick topic: prep.
Prep. Oh Jesus. Talking about prep. Oh God. Yes, health. uh, a lot of people know that I'm a big advocate for health and for the transgenders, right? So yes, this prep conversation needs to be done immediately and soon enough so that people can know the real truth about prep. We have these people out here with the wrong concept, telling people, it's okay to have fun and play unprotected while you're on prep. It's wrong. this is this. I don't see the logical of suppressing one virus and creating another one. It doesn't go with me. I prefer to keep it, basic, old school. Put the condom on.
Mhm.
Keep it safe. We want to live longer, a healthy life. So, yes, if you're on prep, please use it properly. 7 days, 365 days a year. It will make things better if you just, keep following instructions and to living a healthy lifestyle. And for those that are, on prep, love the modeling. Love the beauty life. You know, it's surprising that it's very few people that would take this seriously and use the prep properly. And I heard that there was a conversation down in Florida that these young youth, 13 and over, are having the opportunity to, explore the prep, the famous blue pill. And it's sad to say that, that this generation and my generation are having so much complication of understanding the simplicity of being protective and living a healthy lifestyle. I want to live like my grandmother lived, 125 years. So, I would like to enjoy life like she did in the most magnificent beauty. So, for those out there, they're not aware, the proper way to use PrEP, follow instructions, use it every day, use condoms.
So I want to, share a little bit and talk just a pinch, because Natalia just said it all. She said it perfectly. This is like on a personal level, because this is what these conversations about, bringing something personal into it. So I'm older, everyone knows I'm older, and I'm still on the app, and I'm attracted to people who are say like in their 30s or something. It's weird because I'm over 35, but on my app I'm like 30. So it works for me. That's the person I'm attracted to. I'm not attracted to like someone that's 50 or 60 years old. That's not what I'm attracted to. I'm attracted to someone that's like 30, because maybe, who knows, that's maybe my true age. You never know. I could be 60 years old and my true age could be 30, because as long as I maintain myself, then that's my real age. Who's to say who's your real age? When you see J-Lo, is she 60 or is she 40 or is she 30 or is she 50? It's hard to tell. But she got A-Rod, and again, he looks 40, 50, 30, 60, you don't know. But I digress. My point wasn't about age. My point was about, the the mandate. There's this mandate, and they tell you, you're on the app, and they say to you, okay, we'll hook up, we'll do what you want to do, we'll mess around, and we'll get to know each other. But, and that's the funny part about this whole thing to me, but you cannot protect yourself.
That's right.
I cannot wrap my head around someone telling me I cannot protect myself because they take a pill. You know what I mean? It's like, you took a pill, that's your choice, but my choice is to always protect myself because I don't take pills. And if I don't take pills, you want me to just jump into something because you took a pill. You know what I mean? And to me, I just find the whole setup in a way, almost like bullying. It's like, this is the only way we can be intimate, if we're intimate on this level. And I don't know, it's just the strangest, most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life. It's just so bizarre.
Yes, in a way that our time has changed, and it's changing, it's evolving. But it's sad to say that we're evolving into a sad modern society because everyone just wants to play all willy-nilly.
Right. I mean, yeah, eventually there's going to be ramifications behind all this, because you just cannot, willy-nilly is a good word. You just cannot be willy-nilly without something. And that's a good segue into more of this conversation. We're going to keep it short and sweet for this first but this first conversation. Yeah. It's a good segue into the fact of, I lost it, I had it. So risk.
Right, the risk.
Risk. Everything you do in life has a risk. Everything has a risk. Us coming back is a
Huge
huge
risk.
risk for us because, we took 9 months. We shot one time within that 9 months, which technically had us 5 months away. But if you really look at it, we were away 9 months. We only shot one day. And, during that time, we could have easily just stayed away because, our lives went on and we continued with our lives. And again, I apologize for this angle. I don't know what's happening over here. I'm just facing the YouTube channel. Um, um, and everything has a risk. If you look a lot of the music that's out right now, they're giving you a message about risk.
That's right.
You don't realize that they're giving you this message, but in the music is the message. Solange, everybody knows how I feel about Solange. I think she's like the most amazing. Like, there's not one song on that album or that record, whatever you call it, that is not a warning. It's not a blueprint for you. That you just need to if you're gonna follow your dreams, if you're gonna pipe the piper of your own drum, pie the piper.
That's probably the little.
If you're gonna pie the piper, if you're gonna, go your own way, you have to be willing to take what's gonna come with it because everything has a price to it. There's not one thing that doesn't have a price to it. Now, if you could just fill in for me while I just get like a music while we wrap, just anything you want to say about risk, maybe?
Oh yes, risk factors. Risk factors. Please identify them. Learn to identify the risk factors of you having fun with your partner or with your encounter. These risk factors are the ones that are going to help you live longer if you identify them, and if you don't, then I feel very sorry.
But not only
you
that,
won't be
I
getting
mean, chances we taken like when we decide we're going to invest into something because it's an investment. How do you feel about that? What does it mean to you? You had a T-shirt.
T-shirt, yes, my T-shirt said, "Fashion is therapy," and I like to see it is therapy for me.
Oh, and mine says all good. You see,
Okay.
Look at that, all good.
But yes, taking risk is also a healthy decision as well, because sometimes with the risk, you tend to explore and experience new motivations to create.
But Nat, you're talking in riddles. Talk to them straight. Talk to them straight. What does a risk mean when you're taking money out of your pocket and investing to something? What does that mean to you? Like, we talk real. No holds barred.
Well, to me, meaning investment is that I'm losing, but also I have to understand that I'm also gaining some positivity in my life. When you invest and you give out there, you also exposing yourself to have something good in return because you're giving. I don't know if people understand that, but for me, I understand it in my way of expressing it to you.
And for me too, the reason I came back just to chime in with what you're saying is because it does make me feel alive. It does give me this feeling of being alive. Like there's nothing more that makes you feel more that way than being creative and doing something creative and like bringing something to life. You know what I mean? It's like the most amazing thing. And then when you work with a group of people that all have the same kind of energy that could bring things to fruition. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, that's like an amazing thing.
It creates an environment where you feel most comfortable, where you want to keep investing in and and feel that love, that joy that you receive from giving.
So we just have one last buzzword. It's a big buzzword. We're in May, and we got a lot of things coming your way. And don't forget, like at the end of May and June, Ryan Murphy's coming out with Pose. A love letter to my generation, showing you guys all the things I've always talked about that really quite knew what I was talking about. You're finally going to be able to see it on a visual platform. And with that, I'll just say our last buzzword. And again, just feel free to associate. This word, I wish I had a cue card. Like, let me see, I got a cue card. Don't look that way, cover your eyes.
Yes.
Oh, my pen broke. My pen would break on a live thing that I'm trying to write, but I still managed to have a piece of it. Oh. Okay. And don't look. You're looking. You're cheating. All right. Where's the camera? Don't look. You can look. That one you can't see at all. But the word is.
What's the word?
Can you read it? She can't see it over there. The word is.
Oh my gosh, shady. Shady. Wow. That's a strong word. As simple as that sounds, is a strong word. Shady. Well, shady. How do we identify shady? How do we even express the word shady? It's so strong and powerful that I don't know where to start at the beginning.
We had this conversation yesterday. Me and Nat were out and about, and we had this conversation. So I was 19 once upon a time. Once upon a time I was 19. And I expressed myself, how I thought I wanted to express myself. When you're 19, you want to be the center of attention. You want all eyes on you, and you want some validation. You want validation. And I seen this young kid coming my way. He was 19. He had on like a skirt and like a tank top, and his face was gorgeous. He looked just like a model, and he came through. And I thought he looked amazing, but I also thought, like the older version of me who's no longer 19 years old and who has experienced life a bit, thought he was trying way too hard. Another person would have been shady. Another person would have given him a dirty look, broke him down, judged him, done all these things. I guess the opposite of shady would be understanding or something like that. A person who's understanding. And if you can be understanding, if you could put yourself in another person's shoes, you won't be so quick to be so shady, because shady is a gut reaction of fear. Right. Shady is another gut reaction of fear.
Well, I tend to see it this way.
It's something
shady
you don't understand.
Is really, when people express shadiness, it's really them expressing who they are as a persona.
And a little bit has to do with their own insecurity, of course.
That's right.
Their own. You said the word the other day, and it was a good word. I forget the word. You had said it the other day.
Jesus.
Yeah.
At my age, remembering it.
Yeah, I forget too, but it was a really good word. That was something along the lines of insecurity. We talk so much, and we were talking about Cardi B.
Oh yes.
In particular, be careful, and that one line where she says, you made me look in the mirror and feel different. And that's when the word came up. I forget what the word was. It was like something about like self-esteem, like you lose your self-esteem. You know what I mean? So I think people who are shady just have a very low self-esteem. They see someone they don't understand what they're seeing, and then their immediate reaction is to one up them and to break them down and to make them feel less than, so that they can feel more empowered. And you never are empowered by, putting someone else down. You just, it's the whole thing, which in a word is like everything we're talking about. It's the whole concept. If you look at every part of what we talked about, the underlying concept is bullying. Whether it's prep or whether it's being shady or whatever, any of the topics we've touched upon, it's about bullying if you really look at it.
Yes.
So, Mama, anything else for our audience before we go? Anything as far as makeup and stuff like that? Anything you're going to be doing? I know you're talking about
I'm still in school.
But no, I know you wanted to talk about, how do you say, about meeting the industry standard this time around, where
give structure, because I've noticed in the past that we have this module that we like to give freedom, we like to let them express themselves, but now we're taking a turn to become more structured and to have these models do something in place, because it's starting to get shady. Let's put it that way. and we need to let these models know that there's going to be a big change, and there's a change coming around. If you look at the trends in the fashion industry and the beauty, you're starting to see that there's a big change going around pretty soon. So we would like to take this time to put this platform on and create a structure where we all can feel comfortable, where we can enjoy our environment. Because I love making people look pretty. I love people, dressing up very handsomely and very pretty, gorgeous, and to feel this way is big. It's big joy. But to have these people being shady and don't want to cooperate and be diverse and learn new concepts of modeling.
Again, just to reiterate what you're saying and to jump in as I was trying to fix everything, that's what happens when you go live. Pose, again, it's going to show you everything it takes to be in this industry. This industry is not about taking a pretty picture. That's where all of you go wrong.
That's right.
It's about creating something. I wanted to empower. It's like, go ahead. We're almost done. We're like wrapping up. We just got like 2 more minutes left. And thank you all for watching. We really appreciate it. We had a really great time. And again, thank you for, giving us the opportunity to work on this. And, with all the mistakes, live show for conversations. We will be having more guests, and it will just be like a whole series, and you're going to love it. It's going to be more and more structured as we go along. But just to wrap up, sometimes you even forget what you were going for. We were talking about pose, and we were talking about
the new plan that we have for our agency,
right? And the models where they think that it's all about taking a pretty picture, but it's not about taking a pretty picture. It's about taking a pretty journey. Take a pretty journey.
That's a good way.
Take a pretty journey. Take a journey where you reveal something and where you inspire something and where you took a risk, where you went somewhere you never thought you would possibly go, and you went there and you did it. And, you turned your straight hair into an afro, or you revealed that one of your eyes is bigger than the other eye. you did it. You revealed it. You were vulnerable. That was the word.
Oh, wow.
One of the words you used, vulnerability. You shared that. Someone told me once, I have white eyelashes. I have vitiligo. For people that don't know, I'll share that with you. You can't see it because the color of my skin is the color of vitiligo, which is the strangest thing on earth. That my skin matches the color of vitiligo, but I do have like white. And people tell me to cover it up. I'm like, I'm not covering it up. Why am I going to cover it up? Because of you? When I'm supposed to wear mascara? I'll look ridiculous, tint my eyebrows and risk going blind because you can't face the fact that I have like white eyelashes or something and it makes you uncomfortable. So it's these things about don't worry so much because people worry so much. In the end of the day, it doesn't matter. We were talking about filters and all this stuff that when you see somebody, it's not even who they are.
Right, it's not who they are.
And
Even in person, they come to you with all this makeup and all this layers of clothing, and giving you a personality that's not even them.
Yeah.
So that they can fit in, and that's where they're wrong at because this type of field is all about being individual. And the uglier you look, I believe, the uglier you look, the most creative the paint can be.
Yeah.
I believe, the ugliest people are the most creative people that there is out there because people are pushing these people to the side, bullying them.
I think,
and they're hiding. But in reality, they're not hiding. They're actually expressing who they really are.
I think what Natalia means by that is that it's an unorthodox idea of beauty. Not necessarily that a person is ugly, because it's just unorthodox. I know what you're trying to say, but just to clarify it, it's not because there's nobody that's ugly. That's one thing I know as a fact. There is not one person in this world that's ugly. Everyone has like a unique thing about them that's like so amazing. You know what I mean? There's not one person on this planet who's ugly.
They just misdressed or they're not properly groomed. That's all. They just need a little bit more exposure into what beauty is, and so that they can fit within themselves
and a lot
what
of the time,
is beautiful for them.
Exactly. And a lot of time is the fear. They're afraid. Like it happened to me. It's that whole Cardi B be careful thing. You're feeling good about yourself, and when you're feeling good about yourself, you give people the opportunity to knock you down. Because if you're not feeling good about yourself, you can't kick someone that's down. You only could kick someone who's feeling good about themselves. You can't knock somebody down. Like she says, knock me down 9 times and I get up 10. It's like you can't knock somebody down that's already on the ground. They're already on the ground. There's nothing more you could do. Only time you could be knocked down is when you're feeling good about yourself. And I guess my message in closing is to remember in the moments when you're on the ground to get up.
It's okay to fall on the ground. Just to remember, get up.
Get up, because you cannot stay there to make other people comfortable. Your light is not about other people's comfort. Your light is about you, and you are the person that counts. So this was our first conversation. We did good. We covered a lot of ground. And get ready, because once we start going, we go. So get ready for this train that's coming right down the express lane that we call together Gaze Magazine.
What is it again?
Gaze
Magazine.
All right, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. We appreciate it. We had so much fun. Thank you for this great piece of media, and thanks for your tuning in and watching.
Leave comments, and we'll get back to you on our next conversation.
Yeah, we'll be back soon, and get ready for pictures coming soon, very soon. All right, everybody have a wonderful night. Stay positive, stay uplifting, and be safe out there. Have a good night, all.
And can you show me through?